festivals going on out here. I'm Tim Peterson. Next to me, Mary Thoemke. And Mary, a lot of people out here this evening looking to have a good time for this parade.
Yes, this is our annual Rice Street Festival Parade. We've been celebrating the Rice Street Festival since 1910, making this the 104th Rice Street Festival. We have our first guest of the evening, and her name is Mary Heather Moore, and she's going to tell you a little bit about the Community Marshal program. First of all, tell us, what do the Community Marshals do?
Well, the community marshals are, this is the second year. Officer Ruby Diaz and myself volunteered to organize a group of volunteers from the community to work with the police department to be extra eyes and ears at the parade.
How many community marshals do we have tonight?
We have a record. We've doubled. We actually have 31 volunteers tonight, and they're all wearing these bright colored shirts, and they're walking up and down the parade route, and they know they're part of the community, so they know most of the people here, so it's actually a kind of fun for them because they can socialize and be a part of the parade festivities.
Yes, and so they know the people that are watching the parade, and so they can greet them and they can be a welcoming presence for them, but they're also on the alert, looking for something out of the ordinary that we wouldn't want to be happening here.
And so with the extra eyes and ears, all of them carry a police radio, and they can radio the police department if there's issues.
That was right on cue to do
Right,
this,
right. I was like, oh gosh. Where if there's an issue, the police department can go to.
Yes.
Last year we had a huge success, and so we're hoping that this year will be the same. Since we've doubled in numbers, I'm projecting it to be a successful community marshal.
Yes, and I saw the whole group, and they were all very enthusiastic people, anxious to get out on the street and watch the parade.
Yes, yes.
I should say the beautiful bright neon shirts are provided by Ace Auto Parts, a longtime community business in the neighborhood.
Yes, they offered to sponsor it because they believe in it too, and they want everyone at the parade to be safe, and so that's why they offered to sponsor us. So that's a huge shout out to them for Ace Auto Parts.
Yes.
They're all volunteers?
Every single person is here is a volunteer. We do have some business owners that have stepped up and recruited people, and that they know in the community that use their that would be helpful. We have a business owner actually walking up and down the street. Kevin Dar and Gidget Bailey have been huge at recruiting for the community marshals and partnering up with to make it a successful.
All right.
We thank you for your volunteerism.
Thank you.
And thanks
Have
for
a good time out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to get to work.
Yes, thank you, Mary.
Keep us all safe.
And it sounds like the parade is approaching. I can hear the motorcycle sirens coming. They're just about to enter. There they are. They entered the intersection.
We're circling around, making sure the streets are clear, and it kind of notifies everybody in the parade that the parade is coming to get ready. And I guess for kids, it's
To pay attention.
pay attention and get ready to ask for candy.
Yes.
That's what they like to do so much of.
There's lots of candy out there. There's ices. A lot of the businesses are giving away things.
And we didn't talk about this. You and I talked about it before
Yes.
the broadcast, but if you get a Rice Street Parade button or Rice Street Festival button, you get many deals associated with that.
There's a button for sale for $5 that you can purchase at many of the businesses on Rice Street, including Dar's, Double Scoop Ice Cream, JMT Sub.
And JMT Subs, they actually gave us a sub for all our staff this evening, and we thank them a lot. And you know a little bit about them, I'm told.
Yes, our family owns JMT Subs, and it's a community place. We welcome everybody from the community. And now approaching is the American Legion, Post 474. And Post 577, the fabulous 4th District American Legion Family Department of Minnesota.
Yeah, the color guard getting things kicked off and getting everything underway for us. Always got to have that American flag, and boy, they got plenty of them out there tonight.
And it's a friendly group of people. They're waving the flags. They're waving to the crowd.
And most of them all have smiles on their faces.
Yes, and some of the people that are watching are applauding.
Well, that gets everything started, and
So this group was made up of the 4th District American Legion, the Post North End 474, and the Arcade Phelan Post 577.
always doing good things, and it seems like most parades start off the same way, kind of like any good sporting event. Saluting the
This
American
is the United
flag.
States Navy JROTC from Washington Secondary School Complex. And here is a little car from the Veterans Campground on Big Marine Lake. And more American Legion members from Rosetown Memorial Post 542.
They look comfortable on there.
And now here comes the North End Improvement Club. And George Kramlinger is driving the big red truck. And George was once the parade director of the Rice Street Festival for many, many years.
And this year,
This
a new
year he's
director.
yes. This year our new director is Don Apitz, and we
We just call him
call
Hooch.
him Hooch. Yes.
He actually had the descendant of the dog from Turner and Hooch, and so of course that nickname goes hand in hand. He had that
Yes.
descendant of the dog, so we just started calling Donnie Hooch, and he became known for it. He was part of the St. Paul Winter Carnival last year, and everywhere he went,
He's
everybody
lovingly called Hooch.
Yep, everybody would yell Hooch. He actually didn't like that name at first, but he grew to love
He
it.
likes it now. I
Yeah.
noticed at the kickoff dinner for the festival, everybody was calling him Hooch.
I take pride
We
I
had-
nicknamed him that.
You did.
Yep.
We started off the official Rice Street Festival season with a kickoff dinner about a month ago. Coming up now is the St. Paul Police Band.
Yeah, they were formed in 1923 by a trio of St. Paul police officers. They're celebrating their 90th year this year. Over the years, the band has grown, and with a current roster of 65 members. It includes both police officers and volunteers who enjoy making music and representing with the City of St. Paul and the St. Paul Police Department. Almost time just to be quiet for a
Yes,
minute
and
listen.
listen.
Yeah. I like the band leader.
Yes.
All right, moving on here. Chris Coleman.
Chris Coleman is running for mayor of St. Paul. He's running for his third term, and he has a large group of people coming along with him. He's actually walking. His campaign people are walking also.
It's good exercise, and I always like when politicians are
Yes.
involved in the parades
And-
rather than sending out their crews. Chris is right out here with his group of people, leading them.
And he is followed by Jean O'Connell and her volunteers. Jean O'Connell is currently on the St. Paul Board of Education, and she is running for re-election, and she brought a lot of her supporters along.
I'm always curious how politicians pick which color they're going to represent.
Yes, you wonder what really goes into everything. And coming
there's a
up is
lot
a
of study
large
of it.
banner with all of the Rice Street Festival sponsors. The banner is carried by teens from the Rice Street Teen Zone and Gina, who's the director of the center. And it has all of the Rice Street Festival sponsors on it. And next comes the gold, silver, and bronze level. Coming up next is the Grand Marshal of the Rice Street Festival. His name is, I forgot his
I don't
name.
have it in front of me either.
I know his name. Delane Crawford is our Rice Street Festival Grand Marshal this year. And he directs the Titan North Area football program that takes place at the Rice Street Recreation Center.
That coaches,
And he's-
players, and cheerleaders. They sport the blue and gold. Represent the North Area Titan football, as you said. Rice Street Rec. Oh, it's the home field for the players.
Yes, at Rice
Several-
Recreation, which is just, we're sitting right next
to it. Yeah. Well, they've won several city championship titles. Many tournament trophies in their collection. Always looking for more. More players and more
there's
trophies.
hundreds of kids. Next coming is the Rice Street, the District 6 Planning Council. And the shining star is Vivian Clausen.
District 6.
Vivian Clausen is nearly 100 years old. she's riding in a convertible that Jeff Martins from the District 6 Planning Council is driving. And Vivian is just the shining star of Rice Street. She was recently honored by the St. Paul City Council with a proclamation recognizing her for all the things she's done for the North End neighborhood and for Rice Street. She's lived in the same place on Rice Street since 1939.
Wow.
And here's the District 6 Planning Council. Joe Burns, a member of the council, is driving. District 6 is the neighborhood organization that assists citizens and it represents them on issues. Coming up next is Ace Auto Parts, which is located on Rice Street. It's been in business since about 1929. It was started.
Marcus Wyant. Down
Yes,
there, and they throw a great
Marcus Wyatt and his wife Barb Cluck Wyant
They throw a
are
great.
owners of Ace Auto
Yep,
Parts.
sorry, Mary. They throw a great pre-party for a lot of the people in the parade involved
Yes.
with the Winter Carnival as well. And Marcus, should only be followed, his company, by what he used to be a member of, and
Yes.
that's Northwind, the Titan organization for the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
And here comes the Titans in their truck. And
They have
the
the race-
North Winds are, the former North Winds are Titans, and they're tossing out candy.
They have the 3 representing Rice Street ladies up there. They have a former Miss Rice Street who was Queen of the Snows last year, Ashley Hayes. I'm friends with a few of those guys, so I was getting
Yes.
beads thrown at me there.
Here's our first Queen candidate, Courtney Moore, sponsored by Camp's Food Market. She's a candidate for Miss Rice Street of 2013. Next is Brittany, and she is sponsored by Dar's Double Scoop.
You're familiar with her, I'm
Yes,
sure.
I know her well.
And here comes the king of the Winter Carnival, King
Ted
Boreas,
Matus.
with the
And
captain
he's-
of the guard alongside of him, making sure that they're protected from Vulcans, Brian Johnson. How you doing, Brian?
And Lady of Boreas is driving the car.
The LOB and the Queen of the Snows, Melissa Hoffbeck. There's Tom Cruiser, another guard on the East Wind float. We got the West, the South, and the East all following the king here. Gary Paytow, the West Wind, and Ryan Rutzik, the Prince of the West Wind. And then the South Wind, Chris Stout with Megan Erickson, the Queen, or the Princess of the South, excuse me. The Sergeant of the Guard, Chris Valella. Hail the Sarge. And the East Wind, who are mysterious, Mike Canine, the Prince of the East. Gives us this official presentation.
Yes.
With Shannon
Here's
O'Brien.
Anita Mack, Klondike Kate of 2013.
Greg
Here she comes.
Absey. Greg Absey's last year's Sarge is walking with Klondike Kate. And the North Wind as well. Mike Miranda,
and Mike
the North
Miranda
Wind. Yeah.
is the Prince of the North Wind, representing this area of town.
Jill Volkert, the Princess of the North. And here come the Vulcans. Volcanus Rex, the
comes Vulcan.
76th, and his crew rolling in on the fire trucks. They always seem to have the biggest following.
Yes, everybody knows to make the V.
V up, the Vulcans do. Praising the Vulcans, and the guards always do the V down, throwing their symbol downward. Can't even talk over this.
Hi, Frank. Here comes the St. Paul Fire Department.
Boreas Rex of the Winter Carnival, I should go back here for a second, is the 77th.
Yes.
But Volcanus is the 76th.
Yes.
Because of 1913, nobody wanted to be the number 13. They didn't want to be the
Might be the
13th.
unlucky.
Yeah, so the Vulcans skipped that one.
Pretty
But Bor-
bright.
Yep.
And here come the East Winds on their bus. And these are the people who represent the east side of St. Paul.
They are the mischievous, mysterious ones and the irresponsible ones. You always got to keep alert when they come around. You might end up missing your watch or something. Who knows?
You never know. Now, coming up next is the senior royalty.
One of the ladies in waiting took second place in the town show over at the Ramsey County Fair.
Good for her.
That's Lee Chauvel.
The King Winter is David Forcell, and the Queen of the Northlands is Jackie Whitner. And now we have the junior royalty, and that is Queen of the Snowflakes Becca, Princess of Ice Libby, and Princess of Snow Tessa.
Well, they're rolling right along here, aren't they?
Here's Excel Energy, which has a main office on Rice Street, and they're very good friends of the neighborhood. And so we welcome their presence here tonight.
Yeah, they have their employees and their family riding along, handing out the candy for them.
Yes.
It's shockingly good.
Volunteer.
Capital Bank coming up next. They're the ones with the big cow.
They've been the bank since 1956, the North End Community Bank, our friendly neighborhood bank.
I got a picture with the great big cow
This cow
earlier.
is the same cow that appears in the State Fair daily parade.
Where do you keep a cow like that?
I'm not sure. This is the one that was kidnapped a few years ago.
Oh, really?
And went missing for quite a while, and it was found somewhere out of the city somewhere.
How do you hide that?
It's hard.
That's a big electric fence to keep that one
coming up
contained.
is Will Howell on a bike, and he is an interim aide to City Council member Amy Brenbowen, who represents this neighborhood. And actually, I think he's a little bit ahead of his partner. Oh, actually, she's riding in a fire truck, I think.
Yep.
Because I see her sign.
A lot of representation by the fire trucks this evening.
Yes. And John Lesh, our state representative, is riding along with her. And John Lesh is actually, his signs are on the truck, but he's walking. And Amy Brenbowen is with him, along with her aide, Kim O'Brien, and Kim's new baby is in the stroller.
John Lesh,
I'm
for state
gawking at
representative.
Kim's baby here. Bring him over. Put him in the camera. Do you want him on the camera? We have to show you this new little baby.
He's not happy.
He's not happy.
Got a
Okay,
frowning
we won't
face.
force him.
Maybe camera shy. Looks like St. Paul Park is coming up here. St. Paul Park celebrates their Heritage Days, and they have their royalty up on their float.
And they celebrate Heritage Days in August in St. Paul Park.
Yeah, down on the east side of the Mississippi River down there. Over 5,000 residents enjoy the spectacular view of downtown St. Paul and the Mississippi down in St. Paul Park. And they do one fun thing down there.
They do.
They have a great big mudslide.
And everybody gets full of mud.
A couple of volleyball pits, and they fill them up with mud, and you jump in. But it's so fun.
Yes.
I had a blast last year down there, so I was part of the
I wonder if they're dancing the whole parade route.
That's one way to stay in shape all year.
Yes.
You go to a lot of festivals where you have to eat and everything, but
And now here's the North End Improvement Club with an additional car. The North End Improvement Club has been around since 1923. It was started when they wanted to do some improvements out at McCarran's Lake, and it's still in existence today. Coming up next is Ramsey County Commissioner Janice Redmond. She's being driven by her assistant, Linda Youngworth. Janice has been on the county commission since 1997.
over in District 3.
Yes. Here comes Dar's Double Scoop Ice Cream with their new decoration that they put in front of their store. They sell hot dogs and conies in addition to the Dar's Double Scoop Ice Cream.
How is the ice
Kevin
cream?
Pardon?
How is the ice cream?
It's very good.
Yeah.
There's many different flavors, and the owner, Kevin Barnett, is out passing out. Kevin Barrett is passing out candy.
Icy Pop's my favorite. I got one.
He always Icy Pops, of course.
Oh, what do you have, the
That
Rice
is
Reception
Miss
Center?
Minnesota. Here comes John Choi, who is the Ramsey County attorney. I don't see John Choi, but the car says John Choi.
Oh, he was up in front. He was leading the way.
Oh, I missed him. This is the Rice Recreation Center.
There they are, the Taekwondo.
And they're presenting
judo.
the East Side Judo. They have judo lessons. And the kids are displaying their talent right here in the parade.
Doing some good
Gina
throws.
Stokes is the director of Rice Recreation. And these are kids from the rec center.
We're getting beamed by Tootsie Rolls
Yes.
here flying at us.
Must be their favorite kind of candy. But there's a lot of kids that have a lot of fun at Rice Recreation Center, and they get some very good role modeling from the staff there.
The Rice Street
And
Running
this-
Rebels, the North Area Basketball
Yes.
Association.
And they're also affiliated with Rice Recreation Center.
Well, coming
These
up
are-
next is the St. Paul Music Academy. They're
And
up-
that school is located in the north end of St. Paul. It's a merger of the former North End Elementary and the Franklin Music Magnet School. It's a pre-K through 5 elementary school.
It serves as a musical magnet elementary for St. Paul Public
Yes.
Schools.
And that's located just a couple of blocks off Rice Street.
Music can always set a mood no matter where you're at.
Yes. And I'm guessing
They're playing
they're
down there.
playing for us tonight.
Not at the moment, unfortunately.
No, but they're on trucks provided by Budget Towing. So the kids don't have to walk.
Not a marching band, I guess, then.
No, it's a,
Nope.
it's a riding band.
Riding band.
And these
Orchestra.
are other kids from the school. Hi, kids. And they're all waving.
Well, up next is a sign you might often see, Vote Betty. Betty McCullum for Congress.
Yes. And first, I see Neighborhood House has a van. Neighborhood House Family Center located on the west side of St. Paul. They have some sort of a partnership going with the St. Paul Music Academy.
Aha.
And so that's why they're right behind them. But now here's Betty McCullum, who is Congresswoman representing the 4th District, St. Paul. And Betty McCullum is walking right here, waving to everybody with a big smile on her face.
A friend of mine called her office yesterday to let her know how he felt about certain issues that were going on right then and there.
Yes. And coming up next is the Health East Rice Street Clinic, which has been in existence over 50 years. Not too long ago, they built a brand new building on Rice Street, and it's some of their staff and family members walking in the parade. It's a family practice clinic.
Our sheet says over 75 years, so even longer.
Ah, okay. It was in the
Wow.
I heard it was the 1950s, but maybe I missed a few years there. Now, did you get hit by some candy?
No, it was coming right at my head. I had to duck quick. Otherwise, this Health East ambulance might have taken me
They
away.
had to carried you away.
Looks like we have the West St. Paul royalty coming up here. I don't see a cheat sheet for them.
I don't think they have one.
Oh, West St. Paul, down there off of Robert Street.
Yes.
West St. Paul Princess Brooke Aguirre. West St. Paul, another princess, Sarah Gotke. And Miss West St. Paul, Alyssa Ortiz. I can't read fast enough to name them all.
They're going too fast.
Yeah.
And coming up next is Boy Scout Troop 66, led by John Stanford. And they are sponsored by St. Bernard's Men's Club.
Troop 66 been serving young men in the North End for 48 years. They're chartered, like you said, St. Bernard's Men's Club.
And St. Bernard's is one of the older churches in the neighborhood. It's been around since the late 1800s. Started out as a German church for German immigrants. Today, it's a parish for the Karenni immigrants from Burma.
And unfortunately had to close down
Had to
the
flee.
school.
Yes.
A lot of friends
They
of mine
closed-
went there, but
You know, a lot of people went to St. Bernard's. There's another school in the building, and they're in the parade later tonight. And when we get there, I'll tell you
We'll have
all
to wait
about
for
it.
that. All right.
Yes,
I
that
look forward
school
to-
is bursting at the seams again.
the St. Bernard's Bulldogs.
Yes,
as
yes,
they
and
were.
they have quite the alumni association. And I know from time to time St. Bernard's Playgroup still puts on plays over at the Mound Theater on the east side.
Wow, very nice.
Yes, they call it the Bulldog Theater. And there's a little bit of a lull in the parade right now. We're not sure exactly what's going on.
Got a
But
bunch
here
of
comes
clowns.
the clown
We got a
club.
bunch of clowns coming
They're
up.
making us wait. They're going to have such a good show.
They're clowning around. The St. Paul Clown Club, been around since 1946, bringing laughter and smiles to children of all ages. And actually, I know a lot of people who are scared of them. Scared of clowns.
They're scared of the clowns, but what a lot of people don't know is many of these clowns are people that we know. We just don't recognize them in their clown outfits.
They been working with children, elderly, and veterans. It's the single most reason why most of them put on the grease paint and oversized clothes. It's the oldest continuously active clown club in America. They maintain a tradition that started by World War II veterans to bring cheer to our citizens. Original clowns were recruited from the fire stations to provide merriment at the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
And there's a school coming up in the distance, and I'll start talking about that. It's the Community School of Excellence, which is a charter school which operates in the former St. Bernard School building. And they have nearly 1,000 students going there. I think this may be the 4th or 5th year of existence for the school. And since they started there, they've become very involved in the community.
They have some dancers with them.
Yes, and they have recently become an IB, an International Baccalaureate School, and so they're stressing the international flavor. And when we get the dancers a little bit closer, there, we can see them now on camera.
Beautiful dresses and outfits.
Yes. And I believe that's Chente Vu walking with them, and Mo Chang, the director of the school, is also there.
Chuvu.
Yeah, we'll talk about him when they're.
Yeah.
They're still showing the kids dancing.
Aha. I'm getting ahead. A whole line dance going on there.
Yes, among line dance.
Very nice. Those outfits are fantastic.
They're beautiful. They've got to be handmade. And now we see a large group for Chu Vu for St. Paul School Board. He has the DFL endorsement. And he is an attorney who practices in Frogtown. And there is Chu Vu right there.
Vote for Chu!
And he's followed closely by the John Broderick group. And John Broderick is running for re-election to the school board. He's been on the school board since 2001. And next up is the Gashua Kong Tao for city council. And she is marching in the parade in support of her candidacy, and she has a lot of her friends and volunteers with her.
I always thought what a bummer it would be to every few years have to go out and try to get people to pick you to get your job again. Every year, every time, all over. Oh.
All over, every time.
Difficult to do, and a good public service. Look at the new Brighton Stockyard Days coming in here. Their Stockyard Days is coming up not too long from now. Float carries the Stockyard Days theme with fence rails, saddles, and cowboy hats. It's decorated in silver and purple metallic petals and trim. In 1991, the New Brighton celebration was combined with the famous antique car run from New London to New Brighton. The car run is patterned after the London to Brighton, England run dating back to 1896. And they hope you join them on August 4th through the 12th.
Right, and it's interesting, the New Brighton Stockyards were established in 1889. And coming up next is the Custom Remodelers. Oh, Custom Remodelers truck is going by. Then the Church of St. Bernard, located at Geranium and Rice for over the past 100 years. Their pastor is Father Mike O'Neill, not Father Mike Anderson. And the students are from the church, from the parish, the Karenni students.
Once again, just to let you know at home, if you're just joining us, this is the Rice Street Parade. I'm Tim Peterson with Mary Thoemke. It is, what is it, July 25th today,
It's
2013.
July 25th, and it's the second day of the Rice Street Festival. Last night we had the Old Timers game between Camps and Stasny's food markets. Both of those supermarkets are over 100 years old. Camps won, but doesn't really matter
Yay.
who wins. The fun is in the playing. Here we see the Rice Street branch of the post office, and they're handing out coloring books and candy to the kids. And the Rice Street Post Office, they're our friends. I've spent a lot of time in lines there waiting to mail my mail, but they're always friendly and courteous and take care of us.
I like the mascot.
Yes.
It reminds me a little bit of my high school mascot. the
Yes.
we were Bloomington Kennedy Eagles.
Oh, very similar then. And the kids are flocking around to get those coloring books. On Saturday to follow up, here comes the Farnsworth Aerospace Magnet Band. And this is a school, it's a pre-K through 8th grade, I believe, school, and this is their student band. And they're becoming regulars in our parade, and the principal at Farnsworth is Hamilton Bell.
Teaches some pretty smart things there, I'm guessing, as a
Yes.
aerospace
Very,
space
very,
school.
very quality school. They all are.
Take a listen in here to the band. Got me rocking and rolling. No, not a singer, Mary.
Okay, now coming up next,
North Hudson Pepperfest. And they gave us a bit of information on themselves.
yes, their king is Arlen Wente. Their queen is Maggie Weller, with princesses Erin O'Brien, Stacy Warner, and Emily Virostic. The king and queen are on pepper thrones surrounded by princesses Erin, Stacy, and Emily. And the float is decorated in colors of the Italian flag, green, white, and red, keeping with the Italian heritage and tradition that helped to create this festival many years ago. And now they're doing a little dance for us.
They have a royal spaghetti eating contest that they do over there, and you have to be a royalty member, but you get four members of the team, and you have to eat a half-pound of spaghetti. The royal record is a half-pound eaten in just 9 seconds. That was by the 1996 Pepperfest Festival Queen. That's a lot of spaghetti really fast.
Yes, it's slippery, but at the same time, eating a whole pound fast would be hard.
Their festival is August 16th through the 18th, and they want you to join them for some hot fun in the summer.
Coming up next is the Kaposia Days royalty from South St. Paul. And they celebrate Kaposia Days at the end of June, and the name Kaposia Days was selected in honor of the first settlers in South St. Paul in the 1800s. The Kaposia Indians.
Yeah.
Kaposia Days is a community celebration to improve the quality of life in South St. Paul.
And they have a softball tournament down there I participated in.
Now we have the St. Paul bouncing team from the St. Paul Winter Carnival.
They've been around Winter Carnival many years. Always bring a lot of fun and enjoyment. Sometimes if you talk to them just right, they'll let you bounce.
Yeah, if you want to bounce.
Yeah, but they have their own people that come with them that they bounce as well. And here they go now. They say a
Here she
1
goes.
and a 2. See if we can hear them. Up she goes. The St. Paul GOP City Council.
And that would be the candidate Paul Holmgren.
Republican City Committee.
And I don't exactly see the candidate, but he's here somewhere, I'm sure. He's probably shaking hands off to the side.
Shaking hands and kissing babies.
There's lots of babies here tonight.
There are.
Paul Holmgren is from Frogtown, and he is running for Ward 1 City Council.
Next we have the Oakdale Summerfest.
And they have a lot of young girls on their float, all dressed up and clapping their hands.
Bianca, Taliana, Livia, Callie, Kaylee, Rachel, Madison, Alexis. All the princesses on there. Looks like we have Richfield rolling in here next.
Yes.
Richfield ambassadors.
It's
Have a big
representing the
program.
4th of July celebration in Richfield. This is the 2013-2014 Richfield Ambassadors and Junior Ambassadors.
And they just wrapped up their 34th annual hometown 4th of July celebration. Already getting ready for next year's. That's planning ahead. Richfield's celebration is 5 days of patriotic fun. Street dance, family night, outdoor movie. Sounds like they do the same thing that we do here in Rice Street.
Yes, yes, yep.
Well, if you don't know, have plans for the 4th next year,
Right.
head on down to
you
Richfield.
don't have anything, go to Richfield. This is Woodbury coming up.
I see my friend Shelly up there. She's kind of in charge of the girls. They're boogieing. Are they here? Shelly Kowalczyk is the senior queen with the gals there.
Our next unit is the St. Paul Public Schools with the float that was built by students and staff. And riding the float, actually there's only people walking alongside the float, but they're representative of the St. Paul Music Academy. Tell us one thing you love about the St. Paul Public Schools. And their emphasis, their new slogan this year is from books to nooks, reflecting the traditional way of learning and using the electronic Kindle Nook type thing.
And you had Rockin' and Rollin' down Rice Street there.
And that's for Friday night. First of all, we have the Tin Cup. All the bars are participating. There's about 7 of them. And as I was talking earlier, they're going to be going from bar to bar using the bus so people aren't out driving. They'll be selling Rice Street Festival buttons on the bus. You cannot participate unless you are wearing a button.
And they had
And each bar will have a different musical theme, such as the 70s, the 80s, rock and roll.
how fun.
And this is Tim Holden for mayor, another candidate running for mayor of St. Paul.
The owner of Tin Cups, there, Gidget, was the Rice Street ambassador, or Grand Marshal last year.
Yes,
Yeah.
she was.
Does a lot for the Rice Street Owners Association. Now Matt Hill coming up next, running for City Council.
Oh, here, yes.
Running for Ward 1 City Council.
Yes. And this is the seat that was vacated by Melvin Carter. Now, somebody is serving out his interim term, and this is for the next term. So these people are all running for the seat that used to be Melvin Carter's Ward 1. And the Ward 1 represents part of the north end of St. Paul. Coming up next is Brunette Boxing. And that is the local boxing organization. It's been around, I think, since about the 1980s.
I hope they're not handing out uppercuts. That wouldn't be very fun.
That would not be very fun tonight. But there's a little boxing match going on just in front of the camera there.
Giving us a a little display.
Yes. This is probably from Freddy's Tiki Hut,
It
which is
is.
another bar participating in
Freddy's
the
is the old
pub
chalet
crawl. Yes.
on Rice Street
And then
here.
there was something interim, and now it's Freddy's, and it's all redecorated, and they participate in a lot of community events. And we missed talking about Bourne's Bar, which is another bar which is participating in the pub crawl.
I've actually ridden in that limo before a
You
few
have?
times. Yep.
Okay, so you're familiar with it.
Yep. They provide you a safe ride home if you don't feel you're able to drive home
And
safe.
that's a pretty good thing to do.
Absolutely.
And coming up next is a Vikings decorated bus, which is
It's Mancini's and Freddy's Tiki Hut, and also Macaluso's.
yes, Roadhouse.
Macaluso's up there off County Road E.
So that would be like in Maplewood or Vadnais Heights, somewhere out
Vadnais
there.
Heights, yep,
Yes.
off 35E and County Road E. The owner also owns the Tiki Hut, and I'm guessing now the Char House as well.
Community Action Partnership of Ramsey and Washington County, except that's not who we're showing now. Let's see where they are.
Is that hard work? Is that the Head Start program, Early Head Start?
Yes, yes, and that's the Community Action Partnership of Ramsey and Washington County, which I was reading off of their bus, and now I'm seeing the people coming.
So you were right on and you didn't even know it.
Community Action Head Start and Early Head Start offers not only high-quality early childhood education, but also health and family support for children and their families. And a lot of the people that take part in their programs are marching in the parade tonight. Coming up next is Element Boxing and Fitness, LLC.
Maybe we'll get another display show here.
Yes.
And it looks like it. Squaring off, you're right in the crosswalk. There we go. Good quickness.
It's all being captured for the camera.
Okay, we got the belt here. Couple belts out there. Everybody's got a belt.
Yes.
It's a tough group. All a bunch
yeah.
of champions.
They're all happy to be at the parade.
That's always good to be involved in something. It's some kind of sport or activity growing up.
Right.
You learn a lot from it.
So in addition to the car show and the kickball tournament on Saturday, we have a high heel race at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon, and you can register, I think almost, or on Saturday afternoon, you can register almost up until the time of that race. And so people wear really high heels and they run for about a block from Lawson, where we are now, to Cook Street, which is a block north of here.
Guys and girls?
Guys and girls, especially guys.
Is there a paramedic on hand just for rolled
They're
ankles?
always close by.
Okay,
yes.
good.
And then the coronation of the 2013 Miss Rice Street is on Sunday at 4 o'clock at Washington Secondary Technology Magnet. And coming up next is another candidate for Ward 1 City Council, and that would be Johnny Howard. But we missed the St. Paul City School is mixed in with some of these other people as well. They're kind of all catching up with each other right now. But St. Paul City School is located in Frogtown.
Yeah, we were doing so well with our paperwork and everything.
Right, and now
toward
it
the
got
end
all
here, I
mixed
don't know
up.
which one's where, but
We can't even blame it on the wind tonight.
Johnny Howard bringing his own band in of drummers.
Yes,
Oh, look at that little tiny drum out there.
yes.
We can get a shot of that. That's a cute little drum.
I can feel the rhythm.
Feel the bass.
Yes.
like another ambassador program coming up here.
Okay, this is Dream Girls of USA on the red truck here, little girls. And there's two little girls waving with their smiles. They're waving to everybody.
Dream Girls USA is an all-natural pageant.
This is the end of the parade.
Budget towing,
we
finishing
are
it off.
approaching the end of the parade. The budget towing are the last units in the parade, and they will close out our parade for the evening.
Yeah, we'd like to say thank you to everybody participating in the parade, and we hope it was fun for you as it was for us. We apologize if we mess up any names, or
we did our best.
We did our best, and hopefully got everybody mentioned that
we were supposed to, that we wanted to.
And if I think if we didn't say anything, the cameras caught them.
Yes, they saw them. And
always a good thing.
Thank you for coming and watching us tonight. Thank you for being at the parade and for watching on SPNN. And we hope you come out to Rice Street and participate in all the rest of the Rice Street Festival activities.
For Mary Thoemke, I'm Tim Peterson. Thanks for watching.
Good night.